Hi everyone, Jacqueline here. So today we're going to plant some Happy Face white Potentillas. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them here that I got on sale for $5 at Home Depot. Now these are sun par shade. They're good to -45, so perfect for my zone 3B climate. They're going to bloom abundance of white flowers, so they should be gorgeous. And they're gonna spread 0.6 to 1.2 meters and 6.6 to 9 meters tall and wide. So I have a lot of potentillas in the garden and they do get a good size. One thing I will tell you about growing these is they don't like to be pruned. So if you don't like a plant that tends to get big and a little bit gnarly but gives you profuse blooms, you might want to avoid the Potentilla series. But they are gorgeous. They will bloom all summer and they do attract pollinators. They do very, very well. And you can see from the flowers that they're quite showy when they get blooming. Look at the colors on this. You can see that it's got a few flowers, so I can show you what it's going to look like next year when it goes into full bloom. So ideally you want to put in a spot where it does get some sun, and I think I have the perfect place for it. They do like an abundance of water, but they also can handle going through a bit of a drought where they don't get any. You just don't get as many blooms, and you will get a bit of drying up of the foliage like this. But you just leave this alone. You can cut back this dead, but they aren't going to like it. It won't hurt them the first season if you do trim that off, but I would say don't trim them back because they will eventually die on you. Actually, the neighbor used to prune theirs every year, and finally after one winter they just never came back. So I'd warn you, try not to prune if you really like these. Plus you're pruning, a lot of times you're pruning the blooms off. It's kind of tough to see where those blooms are. They're a tiny little head right there where the bloom is. And you can see some more here on here. There's the buds. But if you want to show and lots of color and pollinators, this is the way to go, particularly in the fall. The pollinators love these because they bloom all summer. They really don't take a break from blooming other than in the spring when they're forming their buds. So they're a reliable shrub in the garden to give you a big bang for a buck. And when you pick up plants like this for $5 and you can mass them into a spot, that is the ideal way to landscape a yard on a budget. So I highly recommend doing that, but you need to have the space for them. So let's find a place in the garden where they will do well and give me some color where I don't have any and stand out. Okay, so you can see where I'm going to put these. I'm going to put 3 here along the fence line in front of the clematis that I planted to give it some color and to also counteract some of the color that's going to be in here. There's a lot of yellow that's going to be in here. We have a pink one right here. That's pretty spindly, but we've got some extra water on it, so it should do better next year. And then I felt like I needed to repeat what I was doing on the other side of the gate. So I'm going to put 2 over here to fill in the gap because I feel like it's an empty space there. And I'll continue to work my way along there and build this up and clean these tree branches up too. But I think it'll look really pretty there. Now, these potentillas were originally priced at $20.98 each. They cut them down in price to half, so $10.49, and then they dropped them again to $5.25. So they did half of a half basically. And you can see here how Home Depot did this. So you can see $20.98, and then it went to $10.49 and then $5.25. So that ended up being a really good deal. That's the way you grow your garden. Deals. It's all about the deals, guys. Anyhow, let's put these in and see how they look. And I might do a little cleanup of the bed just to make it look a little bit prettier for you guys. And that's a job that I've been wanting to do for a little while. And I'm excited to see how it looks in the spring. I got lucky on that one, you guys. I found the sprinkler line. I just came up beside it, but I didn't bust it. Thank goodness. So I had to widen the hole and move it over a little more to the right. But I didn't break anything, so happy camper. So you can see these really need to get in the ground. There's not a lot of white roots there. So hopefully if I water them in good, they'll be just fine. But that would be why they're on sale, is because they're starting to die back. All right, so they're all placed, and as you can see, I've been working on the edging, but light is starting to go down, and it's evening here, and I'm not going to get it done, so I'm going to stop for now. But my main goal was achieved. I've got the Potentillas in. I did move one, you guys, because I didn't like it back here by the sprinkler. I didn't want to block it too much. We can always raise the sprinkler up, which we probably will, but I didn't want to block it for now. So there's two here, right along the edge. I put one over here. Now it is quite close to the yarrow. That is in front of it. You can see that there. But I can move the yarrow. As we know, these plants aren't going to do much this year other than hopefully sit down roots. So the first year, and because it's fall, winter's coming, they're going to sleep. In the spring and next year, they'll slowly grow, as in creep. And finally, the third year for plants and shrubs, as in perennial shrubs, the third year they will leap, is what they say. That's the old saying from way back. I've heard this many, many times over the years. And so, which means they're going to put on their growth spurt, which is what lilies do too, right? First year you put lilies in, if you get a bloom, you're doing very, very well. Second year, they double. So you might get 2 stalks. And then the third year is when things really happen, right? Your 2 stalks become 4 stalks, and then the 4 become 8 and things like that, right? Because they start putting down little bulbs, and then those bulbs grow. So it's the same with shrubs, right? Sleep, creep, and leap. Same as lilies. All perennials do this. And some do it better than others. Some creep a little bit and then leap the second year. Some it takes a full 3 years to do anything. Either way, as long as they put down roots and they're healthy and they grow, I don't care how fast they grow, as long as I don't lose them, I am a happy camper. So 1 there, 2 right there, you can see them, and then I have 2 right here behind the Siberian larch, which is right there. So that's where they are. So that helps fill that bed in nice. That should be pretty. Because you got the hydrangea there. And you've got some yellow here. You got the scabiosas. You got some purple. You can see we have still getting a little bit of a bloom on it. So that went well. So I'm happy with those. So this is a zone 3B that I planted these in. They're very, very hardy. I've never really had an issue with losing Potentillas unless they don't get enough water, as in basically no water. And then they get kind of spindly and they'll look like this because they weren't getting any water until late this year when Rob ran the line. So it was not a happy camper, but it did survive. So I'm expecting that it'll do much better in the new year. So I want to show you guys something else. I'm just going to grab my wagon and haul it with me so I don't have to come walking back over here. And you can see what's going on in this bed, which I've showed you guys this quite a few times. But I'll show you something new that we just finally put in place tonight. And it's been a long time coming, you guys. I mean, we're not the fastest at getting stuff done when we both work full time, but we're still doing it. And we do it ourselves. I mean, I am on 0.66 of an acre. All right. So it's a good sized lot. And we do everything ourselves, and we usually do everything manually. We don't use a lot of power equipment other than, like a lawnmower. And I don't even use a rototiller unless I borrow the neighbors. So you can see, you guys, we got the bench in place. And doesn't it look good? It's going to look really good back here. And I'm very happy to see it in place. And if the weather's warm enough, we will stain it or clear this weekend to protect it. The only thing I'm not happy about with this bench is that some of the outer bark came off on this side. You can see it because it was laying on the ground. And I can't really turn it around because of the way they're cut. But you know what? It'll naturalize out and it'll gray and it'll be fine. And once we stain it, particularly the top is what I want to have stained to protect it. But I want clear because I want it to be natural. Then it should be okay. But you can see how it looks. And you can see the other piece over here that we still have. And at first I didn't know what we were going to do with this piece because, I mean, I'm like, well, I don't have the other parts for the rest of the bench. I can't do another bench in another part of the yard. Plus, it has split. And then I thought about it and thought, hey, we're going to do something with our ground level area beside our deck. Why don't we make a countertop out of it for a bar? And I'm going to quit talking for a second because the train's coming. I stopped the video for the train because it was so loud. It's just at the end of our crescent. So I didn't want you to have to listen to that, have it blaring at you when you watch this video. But anyhow, so that is the plan, is to do a countertop out of that piece and make a cool looking natural bar. So if I do that, it'll complement the area back here. So that will work. Now, you may be saying, hey Jack, what's going on back there at the back of the fence? Well, Rob is working on putting up the wire fence. So we're just ripping the old fence down, and we're going to be putting the wire fence on. And we're just going through the boards as we go, and anything that's really good we're going to save and reuse on the other side of the yard where we want to keep a wood fence for privacy purposes and everything, of course. But this will be all wire, which means we don't have to climb on those nasty rocks anymore, the rock ledge, to paint the fence, which is a real win, you guys, because I mean, I'm not 20 anymore, so I really don't want to crawl on that rock ledge. And I think you guys have seen it. And I'll just go over here and give you a little bit of a view what I mean. And this part isn't too bad. I mean, this part is low, right? But it gets steeper and steeper as we climb the back hill there, right? It goes up. So I definitely don't want to be walking on it. And, you know, since I'm already got a bad knee and I'm trying to keep the other one so I don't have two bad knees, we're not going to be doing those kind of things. That's for kids, and I'm not a kid anymore. Anyhow, that's it for this video, you guys. I hope you will like and subscribe. I feel like I am going to have a good show for you in the spring as I keep adding flowers, and it should be really pretty because I'm adding shrubs that have color too for a backdrop, as well as protection from the elements. So I guess my next thing I'm going to have to do, you guys, is it's supposed to get frost tonight and it's really cool right now. So I'm going to have to run and cover what I have left of my containers in the driveway and my window boxes and stuff. So have a great day, you guys, or a great evening, depending where you are. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free. Drop me some comments. Not seeing too many comments from you guys, so I really hope you'll drop me some comments. Love to hear from you. And tell your friends about my channel and ask them to watch. And I'll keep bringing content to you as long as I can. It'll change for the winter. We're going to go into cooking and decorating and some of those things to keep the content coming, because our winters are pretty cold and they tend to be long, but I'll do my best, you guys, to keep you entertained. I promise you that. I will do my very best. So thank you very much, everybody, and take care. Bye.